Hi, a very good early morning to all of you. This video on design awareness is the first video in the series, and this is aimed at students, right? Particularly school students, engineering students, architecture students, and well, in fact, anybody who wishes to take up design as their profession. But particularly school students who are doing their 8th standard and who are studying in 8th standard and 12th standard, because they would need some time to prepare themselves for confronting um, admissions and screening procedures for an entrance into design schools. So I'm hoping that this will help you plan your future career, and this discussion is to clarify uh, what is design, give you a good understanding of what is design, so that you can sort of decide whether this is something that you would like to take up as your lifelong profession. In the process of this discussion, we'll also clarify some myths that are there, some preconceived notions or incorrect understanding about design and about related professions. So I hope that helps too. Okay, to start with, we will look at one question, which is what is design and what do designers do after they study design, right? Often there is this view that design is a very creative profession, and design is better than engineering, or design is engineering practiced with styling, that is visual design of a product, and so on. A lot of ideas and views like this are prevalent. So that's kind of very vague and very confusing. Since design has this association with engineering, so let's first understand what engineering is, and then alongside we will also try to understand what design is. Since engineering has been here for a longer time as a formal education than design. Okay? Engineering has been there as a formal education for more than 150 years, whereas design has been a formal education in India only for the last 70 years or so, plus or minus 2 3 years. Okay, Um we can sort of say, if you are innovating with physics in your mind, chemistry in your mind, mechanical principles in your mind, mechanisms in your mind, you know, and formulas, theorems, theories. If you are innovating with these kind of things in your mind, you can say you are doing engineering. And if you are innovating with uh, humans in your mind, the final user, end user in your mind, um, if you are innovating with perception principles, how the user's mind works, how the consumer thinks when he is about to buy a product, or what is he thinking when he is about to buy a product? What is the user thinking when he is using the product? How does he go about using the product? Is he safe while he is using the product? Is he comfortable? And does he enjoy using the product or the service or the environment that is being designed for him? When you are innovating with these things in your mind, we can say you are doing design. Either cases, you are innovating. There's no doubt about that. You have to be innovative. Uh, we have to be creative, whichever sphere you are working in, whether it's engineering or design or marketing or anything for that matter. Otherwise, there is going to be no progress if we are not innovating. So, this notion that design is creative and innovative, uh, you know, is not is not right. That design alone celebrates this uniqueness. All the professions are innovative, and we can make it innovative. If at all it has been found not to be innovative, we can make it innovative, right? So this is to start with an important understanding that one should have, because there is a lot of views prevalent in our society today that is attracting school students towards design as a profession, because design is seen as uh, being very creative as opposed to engineering or other studies, which is not true. You can be innovative and you have to be innovative in any of the professions. Design is seen to be easy to study and fun to practice, which is not true. Design is not an easy subject to study. It is just that the courses that are part of design studies are more to do with drawing and color and texture, form, visual qualities of a product, and perceptual qualities of a product, ergonomics aspects of a product, and so on. Looks like a design student is drawing and sketching and wandering about here and there and thinking a lot and stuff like that, and may appear like it's easy to do. No, it is not easy to do. It is as tough and as responsible as engineering is. It's just that in both these cases you are innovative, but while you are innovative in engineering, the kind of stuff that you're thinking is different from the kind of stuff that you are thinking when you are innovative in design. That's a difference. And this idea that it is fun to practice, it's not, it is fun to practice. I mean, for that matter, even engineering is fun to practice. It, one should not have this view that design is cool alone. No, design is as responsible a profession as engineering is. We should understand that. And a person practicing design has to be as responsible and serious about application of his knowledge that the society has arranged to give him or her. We cannot take it lightly. It is not to be seen as a profession that is a cool thing to do alone. If you love the subject, it is a cool subject to practice. It is a cool discipline to practice, right? If you have passion for it, it is a wonderful subject to practice. I mean, that's why it is evolved as part of a social evolution, social change, right? Since there is an association between design and engineering, right? Let's start with understanding engineering first, because it's a much, much older profession than design in terms of formal education. Okay, design as a formal education came into India only 70 years back, but engineering has been there here as a formal education for a much longer period. So let's try to understand engineering and see why the need for design. Okay, so we'll start with an example. Here is a pencil. If you sort of take the pencil and study it, you will notice that it's made of a graphite lead, right? And it's supported with two halves of wooden sticks, wherein the graphite lead is sandwiched inside so that it doesn't break. and this wooden surface is covered with a paint, and it's got some printed material on it that describes the pencil, that describes the brand, and it also says the grade of the pencil. Necessary details are printed on its surface. Now, somebody had to figure out that graphite could be processed this way. A graphite that's available normally could be processed this way and made into thin cylinders. And that person also figured out that in order to give it a support that can be easily shaven as you rotate it inside a sharpener, figured out that wood could be used for this. And the way, if you notice the way it has been made, it's made into two halves. The pencil is made into two halves of wooden pieces, and the graphite is kept in the center, and the wooden parts are joined together, stuck together. And we wanted the wooden surface to be covered so that the adhesive is not opening out again, right? So it's been given a protective coating, which is a paint, and the paint is nothing but liquid plastic, inside which the pencil is dipped and taken out and kept for drying, and it forms a very good protective coating so that the sweat from the human body does not split open the adhesive, right? And it also adds to some identification, aesthetics, and so on. And then somebody figured out that this fine printing can be done on it. So finally, this pencil came to your hand because somebody engineered all these materials. Somebody sat and figured out that these materials can be manipulated, right? And manipulated to bring us this pencil. So somebody has to be an expert in material manipulation, such as graphite, plastics, wood. Somebody had to be good in production engineering so that this can reach you at 5 rupees or 10 rupees or whatever. So there is a team sitting and working on all these materialistic things in order to make sure this pencil has functional excellence in it. Functional excellence in it, right? Which means this requires a lot of understanding of the materials, the principles, and the physical principles, chemical principles, and a lot of theories, a lot of mathematics, a lot of engineering concepts, right? Theories on production, principles in production. I mean, so much thinking has to go into this to make sure that this achieves functional efficiency and effectiveness and reaches you. And it also works, right? It has to work finally. This functional efficiency is achieved by the engineering innovators. You have to be innovative to do the best in this space, right? So we will call this engineering innovation, right? But this alone is not complete. While we understand that this pencil has been made possible and this pencil has functional excellence because of the engineer's understanding of material manipulation, manipulation of physics principles, chemical principles, production engineering, and so on. But notice it carefully, all that he is dealing with has no life. These are not living things. The graphite is not a living creature. The wood is not. The paint is not. The plastic is not. Okay? the physics principles behind it, the production engineering behind it, has no life. And yet, the engineer deals with all this complexity. This is very complex in its own sense, in its own way. And the engineering has to have a fantastic understanding of this so that whatever he is innovating has functional excellence in it. All that an engineer needs to know is that, yeah, there is somebody who's going to use this pencil for so and so purposes, for writing purpose. That's good enough for him to achieve functional excellence in this. But just this pencil, the way it is, may be preferable by some group of people. It may be satisfying with some group of people. This may not be satisfying the needs of a child, a school student. It may not satisfy the requirements of an artist or an accountant. Because each and every person, each and every profession expects something different in the pencil that they want to use. The body dimensions of a child using the pencil is way different from the body dimensions of an adult using the pencil. So, two groups of people with different body dimensions surely are not going to be comfortable with one pencil, one type of pencil with a certain specific size, 8 mm or whatever. Some may like an eraser at the back side. Some may like a sharpener at the back side. I like a blue color. You may like a red color. Somebody else may like a green color. And so on. So the users, if you look at the users, their likes and dislikes differ. The kind of texture, the kind of texture that is put on the pencil. Each and every person's preferences in terms of visual design, the color, graphics, texture on it, each and every person has a different like and dislike. Each and every person may put this pencil to different kinds of tasks. Sometimes it is use, sometimes it is misuse, sometimes it is abuse. Right? However, a whole lot of things about the user always surprises us. A whole lot of things about the consumer, the person who's buying the pencil. Right? The person who's buying the pencil may be the parents, and the person who's using the pencil may be the child. So, a lot of things about the consumer's likes and dislikes, preferences in buying a pencil, and a lot of understanding about users' preferences, likes and dislikes regarding a pencil. Somebody has to have some good understanding of this knowledge so that it can reflect in the design of the pencil. And if you notice it, we are talking about things that have life. We are talking about people, right? And we are talking about living things. You may be designing a kennel for a puppy. A puppy is a living creature. You may be designing a product for a specific market, and the people are living creatures. You may be designing a pot to keep some plants on it, so to grow some plants on it. And a plant is a living creature. The pot is not a living creature, but the plant is. The pencil is not a living creature, that the user is. The kennel is not a living creature, but the puppy in it is. So somebody has to bring this, we can say, expertise about the living thing that uses the product, which is a non living thing, right? So the product itself is enough of a complexity for the engineer to deal with. So, somewhere along the way, the engineering team thought we should have expertise within expertise about the users of the products that we are creating, we are innovating. So engineers thought while we are soaked into this material science and material properties and characteristics and innovation within this space, some of us should look at users, consumers, their likes and dislikes, preferences, their psychology, you know, and so on. So there emerged a profession called design. Put in a nutshell, engineering deals with the non living things on this earth, such as materials, physics principles, chemical principles, engineering theories, formulas, production theories, production engineering, and so on, and tries to achieve functional efficiency and effectiveness in a product. Any product for that matter, which includes even building. Whereas a designer is dealing with living things and the knowledge about how living things behave, how living things think, how they evolve, how they change, how they look at things. And with this expertise, the designer is trying to achieve usability, efficiency, and effectiveness. Functional effectiveness and efficiency versus usability, effectiveness, and efficiency. Right? Functional effectiveness and efficiency is the domain of the engineering innovators. Usability, effectiveness, and efficiency is the domain of the designers. Depending on what kind of subject area interests you, you should try and take it up as your career. To give you a close reference, we can take up a building. The role of a civil engineer is to ensure effective use of material and structural stability to withstand earthquakes or any kind of environmental influence on the building. Whereas the space itself, whether it is to be used for a kitchen purpose or used for a bathroom purpose, or whether it's a living room or a bedroom or a hall, etc., the usability of that space is designed by an architect. So we have a civil engineering team that ensures the engineering aspects of the building, and we have an architectural team that ensures the usability of the building. So the civil engineering team ensures the functional effectiveness and efficiency. The architectural team ensures the usability, effectiveness, and efficiency. Likewise in products too. Right? I hope this gives you a good understanding of engineering and design, so that you are able to make a profession between these two. I hope this was very useful to you to make a career choice between engineering and design. In some other episode, we will discuss the role of marketing and design. Okay, but the next thing that I want to sort of discuss here is what do designers do in the industry? Designers in general can work in three spaces. One, of course, is in the space of education. Designers could take up teaching as a profession if you are inclined towards academics and research. That is definitely a very satisfying profession, there's no doubt. Apart from that, designers work in the research and development wing of industries. So they team up with engineers for and contribute for innovation, in terms of innovation, which means basically the designer is working in the industry. He's an employee in the industry, and he works in the research and development wing. There is a third place where designers work, which is that designers together team up. They form a team of product designers and communication designers. Product designers are those who deal with the physical products like table, chair, furniture, mixie, grinders, laptop, cameras, automobiles, and so on. I mean, all the physical products that we are looking at. And communication designers, that is, graphic designers, photographers, illustrators, etc., are concerned with designing printable and I mean any communication material, simply put, whether it is a printable material or whether it's media, television media, or on-screen media, whatever, all the communication material. Newspapers, magazines, animation movies, films, educational movies, advertisements, all this are the concern of communication designers. So, designers normally team up. Two, three product designers and two, three communication designers join together, and they form a team, and they start their own design studio. So, design studio is another interesting space where designers work. It gives you a lot more freedom and a variety of work. You don't necessarily get stuck to only one space, in the sense that if you are working for a washing machine company, a company that is manufacturing washing machines, or day in and day out you are only looking at washing machines, it could be boring. But if you are running your own design studio, you are getting to work on a variety of products. You're working on a washing machine also. Simultaneously, you're working on an exhibition space, and you may be working on a brochure, a branding, and an interior or a furniture or an exhibition space, and so on. A variety of areas where design intervention can happen. So this could be starting a design firm or a design studio could be more exciting for designers. So these are three spaces where designers work. If I have missed out interface design, please remember that rule. Interface design is another space where designers in the recent years are making a lot of contribution. So this is what the profession is. This is what the professional side of design could be. And okay, so well, I hope this helps too in designing your career, future career. I'm sure just this one video is not comprehensive enough. So do watch many of my other videos before you take a call on what your future career is going to be. Thank you. I hope this was very helpful to you. Do subscribe and press the bell button for updates. Thank you very much. See you in some other video.